I'm Katrina Scott, and I'm a mom of two boys. I am a wife to a traveling lineman.
My name is Amy Coppola. I am a mom to Sebastian and Angelina. I was an accounting manager in my previous life.
I found Beachbody. Honestly, it wasn't even me. It was my husband watching one of those typical infomercials, P90X, and he's like, oh, I'm going to order that. But Frank, can you do it with me? And I'm like,
Beachbody came into my life after my second baby. I was working at a law firm, and my boss at the time, she had her son 4 months before I had my second child. And at that time, I remember her coming into the office after her postpartum journey, and I would see her just like shedding the weight and extra pep in her step. I worked in a corner cubicle, so she'd come around the corner every morning. And I remember coming back from my maternity leave, and it was going quite the opposite for me.
I was married, I had my children. When I was returning from maternity leave, going back to my job after my daughter was born, they had to lay me off. And from there, I found myself in a place that I had never asked myself before, what do you want to do?
I come from a very unhealthy family. I lost my parents. My siblings are also they struggle with that. So I didn't really know what healthy looked like.
I had like these giant bags under my eyes. I was barely making it. I felt like 5 watered down versions of myself. And I remember just this one day, it was like this one desperate day that I walked into her office and I slammed the door open. I'm like, okay, what are you doing?
A friend of mine from college days get fitter and fitter on Instagram, and I had already gained an extra 30 pounds. I thought, that's just how moms look. That's just what we're gonna do for the rest of our lives.
And she told me, yeah, I'm doing these home workouts. I'm doing these Beachbody programs, and I'm drinking this shake. And I remember from that moment on, after she said that, it might as well have been like, like Charlie Brown, like wah, 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 because I was like not hearing it. I'm like, okay, that's not gonna work for me. And then just one day she came to me, she says, okay, for real. Like, here's a bag of Shakeology, just try this, just give these workouts a shot, and let's try for 30 days. And I did.
And I was waking up with energy, and I was getting more out of my workouts, but not just my workouts, just more out of life. I was waking up with energy.
When I was done, with it, and there's no turning back. I started, I loved the program, I got insane results, and it has it'll be 8 years next month, and I never looked back.
I did my very first program from start to finish, and when I finished that program, it was just, from there was no telling me otherwise.
So that's when I finally gave Beachbody a try. I didn't tell anybody I was doing it. I started doing it every morning at 5 in the morning. I was finally making progress.
And then the business came along with that because people were asking me what I was doing. Like, you have such great results. I'd gone to a gym for years with no change, right? And started doing this 21-day program. And in 21 days, I got insane results. So everyone around me was like, what are you doing? I want a piece of that.
The next thing that she would say to me is, well, when are you gonna join my team? When are you gonna join my team? And I remember like looking at her and saying like, what is she talking about? Like, I'm doing the workouts, I'm drinking the shake, like yes, it works, I love it. And she would tell me like, join my team and help other women do the same thing.
I feel that as women, particularly, when you get married and when you have children, I don't think that confidence thing, I don't think you realize how little by little you're giving away of yourself.
I felt really selfish about the idea of spending something for myself. And that's something I see a lot all of the time, that I work with moms. We have this mom guilt that we think we need to do everything the best for everyone else and leave ourselves for last.
You even feel guilty when you take some time just to work out, right? You do it when everybody in the house is sleeping. You would never consider getting a babysitter, or most people, at least I didn't even think how selfish of me while my kids need my time to get a babysitter to go work out. So I would do it at 4:30 in the morning. I think back and I'm like, what was I thinking? But I didn't realize that I wasn't just working on myself physically, but what was going on in my head.
And I'll never forget, like I was walking into the daycare and there was like 3 or 4 moms standing there, and then one of them said, okay, wait, we just gotta ask you something. And it's almost like a repeat of what I did to my coach. They were like, what are you doing?
And I don't know any other occupation where you know, you're asked to work on yourself first. There's not too many, you know, places of employment that say, why don't you do you first, get results, and then help others?
In 2019, I lost my baby sister unexpectedly. She was 21 years old, and we lost her to mental health. And when that happened, when they she was an organ donor, when they led her down that hospital hallway to take her into the operating room, the walls were lined up with so many people that were in our lives because of a decision I made 11 years ago to push play to a workout and get out there and help other women. And that was a real defining moment for me.
When I lost my dad, the first person called was my business partner. The community that just, you know, that you can just, my business is taken care of. Let me focus on my family. Let me get through these terrible times. If it wasn't for them, I don't know where I'd be.
When I needed, you know, when everything stopped, my family's world stopped with the loss of my sister. When I looked around, it was my Beachbody community, my team, and my friends, and my family that held us all up.
Having someone tell you, like, you saved my life, I've lost more than 100 pounds working with you, those things are something that's so fulfilling, but you can't put that into words. Like, it's life-changing.
If this is something that you're interested in, we can help you find the time. We can help you get really a lot more intentional about what you do with the hours in your day.
I became addicted to empowering women and seeing how women tend to little themselves, even physically.
So many times, a lot of stay-at-home moms will tell me, the whole day passed by and I don't even know what I did. So finding something that you're passionate about and creating a really great dynamic approach to that is something that we can help you do.
It's work. Like, it's not anything that just happens overnight. It doesn't miraculously appear. You have to put in the work, but the reward is absolutely priceless.
And that one day you're gonna see the purpose in it. One day you're gonna see why you had to go through this difficult time, because it's gonna help somebody behind you. To me, and all that came with his business.
So many times we think about all the what ifs. What if this fails? What if this doesn't work out? What are people gonna say? But what if this worked? What if this was the thing that brought you that joy and purpose that you've secretly been missing? What if this is the thing that you've been missing all along and it absolutely rocks your world?